Hey everybody, I'm Jim Deedlow, AM 1230, WJOB, and 104.7 FM. We're also on the TuneIn app, and of course, many of you watching on Facebook Live and Twitter. This is a 1 Million Cups presentation. It's part of the Kauffman Foundation, and we are going. What we do here is we have people come in, not-for-profits, startups, businesses, whatever it might be, something that could be of interest to our live studio audience. Can you guys do me a favor, and just to prove to everybody that's driving around on the radio, let's give it a big hand just to show that we're here. All right. We've got a couple people that help us out every time. Coffee Cabin. They come in and they supply the coffee. It's amazing, right outside. And I'm pretty sure that there's a number of people that come just because of that, and because of Nana's Sweets Bakery. Nana's actually looking for a space right now. We've heard from Nana before. And she actually has some gluten-free peanut butter and oatmeal balls out there that are made specially for me. But everyone else can have one and one only. The rest are going to me. All right, here's what we do. We're in the WJOB studios on the campus of the Purdue Commercialization Center. And we are looking for your business. If you want to present here, it goes, you present about 6 minutes, and then we have a question and answer. And it's all on Facebook Live, and it's all on Twitter. It's all on the radio. It gets played a number of times on the radio. It's quite a bit of exposure, and we're very proud of doing that. So here it is, a 1 Million Cups presentation, part of my Jed and the Money series. And this is Dr. Nassim Abdi of Documentaries. Clap again.
Thank you very much, Jim. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Nassim Abdi. I'm one of the Iranian-American co-founders of Docademia, which provides documentaries for academia. The first time that I learned about the power of film and how it can impact perspectives of people was when I happened to be in a film that was awarded internationally by Venice Film Festival.
She is committed to change. He is not.
So when I traveled with this film, and I talked with people who watched the film, I learned how film can change perspective of people. Then I came as an international student to the US, unfortunately a year after the 9/11 tragedy. And my husband Ali, who is a faculty at Purdue Northwest here, and I noticed how the representation of media and the media industry in North America is, for most part, not exactly what happens in the rest of the world. How the media is biased, and how I wished there was an alternative voice there that could show other realities of the world. I took a media literacy class in my grad school in the first year, and I learned what are the strategies that corporate entertainment companies, big companies, and media industry use to change public opinion based on what they prefer to shape, based on their own agenda. So later on, when I started my own journey as an educator, I started using videos and films in my classrooms, because research shows that a learner is likely to remember audio, visual content better than any other kind of content. 50% of what people watch, they will remember if they watch and hear. So 98% of organizations now are using some kind of video as part of their visual and digital strategies. However, when it comes to social issues and teaching about social issues, the problem is that it's very difficult to find videos and films that are not biased. Mainstream media is mostly biased. And when we surveyed faculties and instructors at different universities, we found that it's very difficult to find unbiased collection of films that had good quality for teaching and provides alternative viewpoints from marginalized communities, and more importantly, connects the students to the filmmakers and independent journalists who create this content. So that was the time that we started thinking about the solution that we call it Docademia. And we say it is the Airbnb for social documentaries. With that, we mean just like Airbnb that disrupted the hotel industry in the world, now you can decide, you can choose where you would like to go for your vacation. You can go for an adventure to a tree house, or you can go to Morocco, a small village, and enjoy your vacation. It's your choice. With Docademia, we are disrupting the media industry in North America. And we are hoping that we can provide that connection with independent filmmakers and journalists and give audience the choice that they can decide which voices they want to hear from, which part of the world they would like to learn about. And instead of waiting for media industry to choose and big entertainment companies to decide which collection they want to present to public and how they would like to present it to public, you can decide who will provide that content, and you can decide which part of the world you would like to learn about. So we connect independent filmmakers and journalists and their social justice issues to faculty and students in the classroom. And we follow the Airbnb model. With that, we had three assumptions. We thought that we needed a large collection of documentary films. We thought that we need a prospect audience for the films, which will be college students and faculties. And we thought that we need a client to pay for that service, right? It's a business model. It's a two-sided market business model, which we found that colleges and university has the resources because they provide educational resources and materials all the time. So we went with our first assumption, and we conducted our first short documentary film contest in 2016. And to our surprise, we received 529 short films from 88 countries from around the world. Second year, just last May, we had our second contest, and we got 1,015 short films from more than 100 countries from around the world. The choices are not limited anymore. We have all views from all different parts of the world. So we created a platform that offers a video-on-demand service that connects filmmakers to classrooms. With this platform, you not only can have access to all films from different parts of the world, different topics, different cultures, different communities, all the oppressed, marginalized communities that voices are not being heard in the mainstream media could be represented here. But also, faculty and students can have live chat with the filmmakers in the classroom, and they can talk directly with the filmmaker about the topic. We also provided educational materials, teaching materials, so they can use them for discussion about the films. Here is an example of a virtual classroom that we had on women's health issues. The short film was about sexual assault. The person in the middle was the filmmaker. It was a very short film, 7 minutes, sweet and easy for discussion in the classroom. The person on the right was the author of the film, which happened to be the main character of the film as well. So we watched the film with the students on the right side in the chat. We discussed the film. They asked their questions from the filmmaker and from the author. They could use microphone, as you could see, or they could type. And at the end of the session, they reported that it was a transformative learning experience because they lived that experience with Lorraine, who was the author. So for market validation and to approve the other two assumptions that we had, we went to different universities, outstanding universities like Johns Hopkins, University of Pennsylvania, BGSU, Worcester State University. They used the service, they paid the service fee, and the faculty from there reported that it was a really great experience in their classrooms, and the material and curriculum that they use could be used from freshman to doctoral level, and it provides an amazing experience for learning. So in our two-sided market business model, we have several revenue streams. One would be individual subscriptions. Another is organizational subscriptions, which we anticipate to be libraries at universities and public libraries, film festivals, film submission fees, and potentially in the future, advertisement for the films. With this model, we are anticipating that in 2 years, by the third year actually, we'll get to a net profit that will be positive. For adaptation strategy, we are using right now direct contact with faculties. When they learn about the content that we have, and if they like it, they include it in their syllabi. And then they can use it in the classroom, and students should get membership. We are also considering academic conferences and associations to introduce the content, and also major book publishers, so they can relate and connect their textbooks to our content and provide visual content for their textbooks. Also, SEO and content marketing through relevant social media is another way to go after the market. For competition, we couldn't find any exact competitors in the market that has reviewed videos, have live chat with the filmmakers, and the study guides. Other competitors in the market are video search engines that faculty are using, and based on our survey of faculty, they are not providing what exactly they like to have in the classroom. Our team consists of myself. My PhD is in international education from University of Maryland, College Park. My co-founder, Leila Mouri, has a master's in Middle Eastern Studies from Columbia University, and she studies MBA at Rutgers University. And Irfan Abdi is our director of art and technology, and his master's is in digital arts from Royal Conservatoire from the Netherlands. We also have a brilliant team of interns who are helping us reviewing the films and developing the content material for teaching. For our future plans, we are hoping to raise 1.7 million in investments to advance our algorithm of the website and develop a smartphone app for our subscribers, and offer professional award ceremonies for our filmmakers. And also, we can expand our marketing plans. For our next step, however, we would like to raise $500,000 to improve our website and change it into a user-friendly and advanced algorithm. And also, we would like to develop the app for the smartphones as the next level. Thank you so much for your time and for your support, and I look forward to your feedback.
Excellent job.
Thank you.
Very well presented pitch deck. We very much appreciate that. Those of you listening on the radio, once again, you just heard a presentation from Dr. Nassim Abdi. It's called Docademia. And Docademia, I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. Docademia, I'm looking at it in the camera of it, so it looks like Docademia. I'm sure that one's bought. Somebody bought that a long time ago. But Docademia, and she just presented her idea to 1 Million Cups, which is part of my Jed and the Money series. You guys watch them once in a while. I just bring people in and we talk about business stuff during the middle of the day. So what we do now, we'll move into a question and answer period, and anybody who wants to ask a question, Debbie has a microphone over here, and she will be able to do that. I'll start it off right here. First of all, what is, where are you from?
Well, I'm Iranian American. I'm originally from, should I walk further here?
You're just going to keep pushing me in, and there's a window
I
here.
should not?
So
okay, I thought I should.
Where am I going to go?
I thought I should walk. I thought you were moving back because I have to come closer.
No, I think he's got us both set in the camera right now. We're going to put X's on the floor, but you're good right where you're at. So I guess what I'm getting at is that I know where you're from. So you're from Iran, and your perspective of saying that people, that mainstream media has a bias, and that's kind of the starting point for your motivation here, I guess. And first of all, you're talking to a guy who owns a couple of media companies, so you next time you do that, can you say present company excluded? But
I'll say it now, present company excluded.
Yeah, I want to address exactly how important that is. You brought it up right at the beginning about mainstream media and their bias and how that plays into your business model.
Well, that's a very good question. Thanks for asking that question. Yes, that was the start point of all this idea. And its mainstream media is biased not only in North America, all around the world. And that's an important part of what we have here, because what we try to do is, just like other two-sided market models like Uber or Airbnb, that for a long time, the only resource that we had to go for a vacation was to go to a hotel, right? You couldn't decide where else you can go or what other kinds of accommodation you can have. But now it's not limited to that, and you can decide what you like to do with your vacation. With Uber, unlimited access to transportation choices, which brought us better prices. And now we don't have that limitation of when we want to go to an event that the parking is a hassle. You can always just go with that. So with media, it's been a long time, too long, that all the perspectives that we receive from the rest of the world is from media. When I came here as an Iranian international student, it was the same way. I couldn't believe what I heard from media back there was different from what I observed in beautiful hearts of people here, and how kind and warm-hearted people are here, and how even in that tragedy after 9/11, it was still the mutual understanding as human. Just, I care for my family like any other mom who cares for her family, or any other dad who cares for his family. That's the universal law. It's not something that can change anywhere, right? So that's not the part that we get from media. And when I started as a grad student, I took a media literacy class, and that was very eye-opening. I'm telling you, it was very eye-opening to find out what are the strategies that are being used by media to change public opinion. The lens, how it can go.
Let's just see it again. It was so good.
How it can go wide or
So we are going to
narrow.
have some other questions, so we'll save that anecdote for sake of time. But I wanted you to address that because it obviously, seeing your emotion, that you basically want a contrarian opinion to what you'll be able to get each night on the cable news shows. Is that a good summary of it?
That's perfect, yeah.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
We have Dave Ryan. He is the Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce Executive Director. Dave?
Jim and Doctor, that was a wonderful presentation, I thought.
you.
And this is my first Million Cup meeting. And I'm sitting between two famous people, Debbie Wargo and Jesse James. This is the real Jesse James right here beside me. That's right? That's right.
True living color.
But I went to a Cleveland Film Festival last year against my will, okay? My wife said, my sister lives there, we're going. So we went there and saw about 8 short documentaries. Some were like 10 minutes, some were 30 minutes.
Can you stand up for the camera, please?
Sure. And it was very eye-opening. And to see what you're doing here, when you showed talking to the filmmakers, and to see the instant feedback on the right side, that is amazing. And that's how you talk about, how you can attack the bias, and someone's making a presentation, and you can immediately see the feedback, and how that would just fill up, with hundreds of messages. And that's very cool. So what a great learning experience for students.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Once again, you're those folks driving around right now listening. It is on the air here at AM 1230 on 104.7 FM. And I didn't put the number out, but we do have some folks that want to call in. And I think that we're going to turn all the mics off. We're actually going to take a live phone call during the show here. Let's go to line 599. It's Dave. Let's go to Dave on line 599. Dave, what's going on?
Good morning, everyone. Fantastic presentation. It came over the air great, but I do have a question, and you kind of struck a nerve with me earlier in your presentation. And we used to have something that anyone that carried a broadcasting license to be equitable, honest, and fair, and that was called the Fairness Doctrine. That was implemented by the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, in 1949. Unfortunately, during the early 80s and then the mid-90s, that was pretty much eliminated, which has created the major corporate stations that, as far as I'm concerned, my opinion, nothing but infotainment and nothing that has to do with the good for the public knowledge and public information that is fair and balanced. Have you studied at all the Fairness Doctrine, unfortunately, which we no longer have in this country, which I wish would come back to create everything that would be fair, balanced for public information? That's my question and my comment.
Okay, we'll turn the mics back on. We have to turn them off while the phone call comes in for the feedback. But Dr. Nassim Abdi has Docademia, and she is part of 1 Million Cups, part of my Jed and the Money series if you're driving around. And I'll tell you what, we would take one more phone call at 219-845-1100. Doctor?
Thank you so much for that great question. You pointed out on a very important issue of fairness and how we sort of select the quality of the films that we receive. So just part of our business model is that these are not our properties, just like the apartments in Airbnb are not Airbnb's property. And because they are not their properties, they rely on the reviews of viewers or the travelers for them, and how they find that place extraordinary or horrible. And that review helps with the rest of the travelers how they can continue. However, with media, it cannot start from zero level. And I don't think Airbnb started with zero level. They had some standards in place also. And we have some criteria on what we call something acceptable for teaching that doesn't have the bias with it. And we have a review process and a list of criteria that the reviewers should use. So what we do, each film, two reviewers will watch the film, and they respond to the questions that we have about the film. If they disagree, a third person will join and do the review again. And then at the end of the process, for our contest's purpose, we have a shortlisted group of films and a jury committee of faculty in that specific field. For example, the first contest was about early childhood, and a group of faculty from early childhood voted on those films. So we are improving that. We are hoping that we can improve it in a national level of qualifications and requirements for fairness on media. But it's
good luck with that. We're talking to Dr. Abdi. Doctor, let's get down to some of the... Anybody else has a question? Raise your hand right now. Let's get down to the business part of it. There's a continuum for all businesses. You're obviously in the Series A, raising money. Where have you gotten the money to get this far?
Well, great question. Well, it was not an easy route for us. At the beginning, when we started, when we came, I suggested the idea to other co-founders, and we started getting together and trying to find money for the first part. Thankfully, we all had that skills and knowledge to start the website, the content that we needed, the festival that we conducted. That part was not that difficult. And we also had a brilliant group of interns who were expert in the field of international and cross-cultural education to help us for free. But we needed a little bit of funding to start, and we ended up writing a grant for a totally different topic. And we saved money on that so we could continue with this. So we pivot a lot, even so far that we got to this point.
So where are you located? I saw the pictures of the interns, and you have people all over the place. Where's your base? Right here?
Well, hopefully soon this co-working space will be our address in the website, and I'll be here using our amazing mentor, Mont Hanley, here to help us continue.
What a great pivot, because that is a shameless plug that I'm able to give right now to anybody that's watching this. So once again, the media company is the only private company in here now, but it's designed for companies exactly in the situation that Doctor is in, and that is to come in here. There's plenty of space. How many thousands of square feet are available for this? We don't know either, but several thousand square feet. And she may just be one of the first people to move into the space. It's right here along Indianapolis Boulevard, Purdue Northwest. It's part of the university. Purdue Northwest is actually about a block away. And we would love to have you in the building here, partly because Debbie Wargo is often the only female in the building, and she needs someone to talk to. She's the station manager here. I think we've gone. We got to hit the business model right now a little bit more. You're looking to raise $500,000. In your best world, where does that money come from, and what would you showed what you would use it for? Once you were to finish that, would you start on a second one?
We are hoping that in the first year we can go after angel investors, and we can raise that money, because unless we have a user-friendly, smart algorithm for our website, it is really hard to move to the next step. We need a really easy to use website for both sides of the both sides of the market, filmmakers and faculty, so we can start expanding our marketing plans, and we can go with other plans that we have.
Let's hear it again for Dr. Abdi, huh? All right, we're going to, in just a moment here, just so you folks that are listening on the radio, thanks to Dave for calling in. We're actually going to do a second one of these, so just hang out. You hear a little music and some spots in the middle there. And for those of you on Facebook Live and Twitter, we encourage you to go to the WJOB feed and see many of these Jed Namoni / 1 Million Cups. We've done dozens of them. There's a lot of really innovative people that are doing some important work. So right now, thanks to everybody here. We're going to move on to a second segment, but we're going to close down Facebook Live.